where in Washington, the American President Joe Biden hosted the Emir of Qatar. The meeting underscored the tiny Gulf state's strategic importance for the Americans and also securing a special status for the key American ally in West Asia. Now remember, the tiny state of Qatar hosts the Pentagon's Central Command and also a huge airbase in the Middle East. Now, during the Afghan evacuation process last year, the American forces had sent in as many as about 60,000 Afghans and Americans via Qatar's airbase. Now, Doha had also served as Washington's diplomatic contact with the Taliban, and that has been ongoing for more than a decade. It will, of course, be very pivotal for any future contact with Afghanistan. Now, Biden has described the tiny nation of Qatar as a good friend and also a very reliable partner. He has recognized Qatar's key strategic place in America's military global footprint and has announced designating Qatar as a major non-NATO ally. A special status grant will, of course, open the door for closer military and commercial ties between the two nations.
He's a good friend and reliable and capable partner, and I'm notifying Congress that I will designate Qatar as a major non-NATO ally to reflect the importance of our relationship. I think it's long overdue.
So, we're very happy and proud of this great relationship, and we're going to continue working together to find ways and means to bring peace in our region. So, thank you very much for seeing me today, Mr. President. And as you mentioned, that we'll be talking about several topics.
Meanwhile, the two leaders also celebrated a $20 billion deal for Boeing. An American plane maker, Boeing secured a launch order from Qatar Airways. It's become the first customer for Boeing's new 777X cargo planes. Now, in a White House ceremony, Qatar Airways also signed a letter of intent for a transaction of almost about $6.7 billion for 25 brand new 737 MAX narrow-body airliners.
On that front, I want to applaud the new deal that Qatar Airways Group signed with Boeing for a $20 billion deal. One of the largest deals that Boeing Aircraft has ever had, and it will support tens of thousands of good-paying U.S. jobs here in America.
However, the issue that overshadowed the meeting was the attempt to shield the European allies from potential Russian energy cutoffs. The Western capitals are threatening unprecedented economic sanctions, but if the brewing conflict with Russia escalates further, then there are fears that the oil and gas producing giant could then retaliate against the European Union. The EU imports nearly about 40% of its natural gas from Russia and is already going through a pretty steep price crunch in the middle of winter. And the transatlantic tensions over Russia's intentions in Ukraine are making things worse for Europeans from accessing cheap gas. Now, Qatar's importance, of course, is rising given its energy riches. Qatar is one of the world's biggest liquid natural gas exporters, and there are hopes in Washington and Europe that Doha can temporarily redirect exports destined for the Asian markets into European markets. Now, the Emir is the first Gulf state leader to visit Biden since he's become president just about a year ago. In addition to the meeting, the Sheikh was also meeting with the Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, the Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, members of the Congress and other officials in Washington.
Members being put in place. We have a lot to discuss, but while the press is here, I want to make...
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.